Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the next act, the wonderful Mr. Graeme Wright, everyone! Yay!
Hello, and good evening. Now, I'm also doing a lot of new stuff tonight, so if you don't laugh, that's why. Now, I'm actually going to pick up a few things that some of the other comics have said, and a couple of points. One of them about Croydon. Now, Croydon does seem to be a bit of the whipping boy these days, doesn't it? Now, you know, about being poor and horrible place, unsafe sort of thing. Now, I've been all around the world, and I have seen true poverty, and, you know, genuine fear for my life on the streets. And trust me, Croydon is nothing compared to Edmonton. Also, someone mentioned about being schizophrenic. Now, and again, they confused it with multiple personality disorder. They're not the same thing. And I can speak with some authority on this, because one of my multiple personalities has schizophrenia. Yeah, it's clever, but it's not very fun. Now, I was on my way here, and a person on the train came up to me, and I realised they were deaf, and they came up to me and they went, I thought, oh, it's a sign. Sign, maybe not to do that joke. Yeah, so the thing is with signs, you have to be quite careful what you're doing in public in terms of hand gestures and signs. For example, I was in New York 3 weeks ago, and I went onto the street to get a taxi. I went, taxi! Okay, got into a cab. Did the same thing in Berlin a week later. Got into trouble. Did the same thing last week. Oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to bore you. Yeah, no, I did the same thing in Austria, in Vienna, just last week. I got 27.2% of the popular vote. I might have been president if only my policies were a little bit more pro-family. Dungeon. I don't like left wing. I'm more of a breast man. so sorry. Yeah, I'm more breast man. And I don't know. Can I ask ladies? Are there any ladies here with large breasts? No, you said. And then, well, you see now, that's exactly right. To get a more accurate answer, I should be asking the gentleman: are there any ladies here with large breasts? Because, you know, we've got the right-hand side of our brain, it's all about 3D and spatial awareness, isn't it? And we use that power of our brain to map out in any given space the size, shape and location of all the breasts in that room. But, of course, the left side of the brain is not quite so well developed. It's, and that's the part for creativity, imagination, memory. And really, for me, I don't know about any other men in the room, I use that part to remember breasts when they're anywhere near. Of course, it does take up most of the capacity. There isn't a lot spare for, you know, intelligent chat-up lines, commitment, and remembering what you said in an argument 3.5 fucking years ago, for fuck's sake! Oh, right, what's next? I've got on left side of the brain. What's next? Oh yes, breasts, that's right. Speaking of breasts, the reason I mention it, apart from the obvious, is that 60 to 90% of women with large breasts end up with back troubles. Now, there are other reasons to become a chiropractor, but that was mine. So, what's been in the news recently? I can't do my Whitney Houston joke, because someone's already done it. But I did see that scientists have discovered the loudest noise in nature. Turns out it's Brian Blessed treading on an upturned plug. And I saw an article in the newspaper and it said that a man's IQ is inversely proportional to his sexual prowess. I didn't understand a word of it. And I also saw David Cameron on TV and I was struck just by how shiny he is. And they say you can't polish a turd. But he was going on about the bankers, and you're not bankers, are you? That's okay, I can continue. And he's going on about the bankers of greed and what he's going to do about it, and he's not, is it? They're his mates. But I thought I had quite an elegant and simple solution. We could make all the investment bankers become rent boys. And just be interesting to see how much they look forward to the big bonus then, eh? But another thing that, I'm trying a bit of political stuff, like I say, it's probably shit, I'm going for it anyway. They noticed that the Bank of England has been keeping the interest rates low, pumping more money into the economy. And that's, sorry Tony, I'm really sorry about this, mate. And now what this printing money, what it has the effect of keeping inflation high and pumping up house prices and pumping up gas and energy and food prices. Now, the thing is, I don't think my nan is going to see it through the winter, what with the food and energy prices. On the plus side, it does mean I will inherit a very expensive house very soon. One last one about the news. It's either Argentina or after the Falkland Islands again. Now, I'm not a patriot or a royalist. To be honest, I think the royal family can go fuck themselves. which they have done for the last 600 years, let's be honest. But yeah, the Argentinians, did you know that actually in Argentinian, Las Islas Malvinas means, well, we didn't realise there was oil there. Okay, done a spot of acting recently. I appeared in a sensitive gay love drama called Bananas Are Not the Only Fruit. I also had a small part in a bakery advert where I played the lead role. Yeah, so I do enjoy acting. Another thing I enjoy, very different, is squeezing spots. I love squeezing spots, but I hate pulling off scabs. I think the reason I hate pulling off scabs is because it reminds me of what my mum had to do for money during the miners' strike. Too soon? It was 1984. Back then I was just a glint in the milkman's eye. I was 5 years old. I suspect he was a paedophile. Now, talking of family, I have got a young son, and I was going to do a whole section on parenthood, but you know, what with the late nights and the sleepless nights and the early mornings and the running around after him, taking him to nursery, picking up all the stuff that goes with having a young child, my girlfriend was too tired to write it for me. Yeah, so she's done me recently.
Aww.
That's what she said, only she put soul on the end of it. She also accused me of being a pervert. Right, to be fair, she had just been sniffing a bicycle seat. But then she accused me of being a narcissist. Then she realised it was my bike. So I'm single again, which means I've got to start making an effort again, doesn't it? I thought I could try bodybuilding, but it's hard to find the motivation for that when you're not gay and you weren't bullied at school. So, yeah, what's the last bit I was going to do? Oh, that's right, yeah. We're splitting up with the missus. We bickered about a lot of things, you know, my failure to become the president of Austria and remember the arguments. But one thing we did bicker about was about Valentine's Day. I think I'm the only one who's actually made mention of what we're supposed to be talking about tonight. We argued over presents. And I'd asked for an expensive present. You may have seen the advert for, de Lacoste, Lacoste. What I got was Oda, low cost. One Aldi. But she, on the other hand, was expecting a very thoughtful present, given the amount of time I'd spent private browsing on the internet. Although I did splash out a new keyboard. I had to, the last one was covered in spunk. Right, okay, that's a nice classy way for me to finish up, I think. You've been lovely, have you been Graeme Wright? Good night, Graeme.
Graeme Wright, everyone.